Most people believe you need a high salary, rich parents, or lucky opportunities to build wealth, and if you're starting from zero, it can feel like the game is already rigged against you. But the truth is, almost every financially free person started with far less than you imagine. So before we go any further, if you want realistic financial advice instead of motivation with no plan, subscribe for clear step-by-step money strategies, and comment "Build" if you're serious about changing your financial future, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how wealth is built from nothing, through 4 clear stages that anyone can follow with patience and discipline. The biggest misunderstanding about wealth is that it appears suddenly, but real wealth is built progressively, one phase at a time. And trying to skip stages is the fastest way to fail, because each stage prepares you emotionally and financially for the next one, and when people collapse financially, it's usually because they moved forward before their foundation was ready. The first stage of financial freedom is stability, and this stage is not glamorous. It's about surviving without constant financial stress, paying bills on time, avoiding chaos, and building basic control over your money. Because without stability, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis, and no long-term plan can survive constant emergencies. At this stage, the focus is simple: control spending, understand where your money goes, and build a small emergency buffer, because even a modest safety cushion can prevent panic decisions that destroy progress. And this is also where many people feel stuck, because stability feels slow, but skipping it leads to repeated setbacks. The second stage of financial freedom is growth, and this is where wealth actually begins to form, because now you're no longer just surviving, you're building, and this stage focuses on increasing income, developing valuable skills, improving career leverage, and starting to invest consistently, because investing small amounts regularly is far more powerful than waiting for a perfect moment. Growth is where most people start investing seriously, but many fail because they underestimate the importance of consistency, and they chase fast returns instead of building habits. And habits are what make growth sustainable, because motivation fades, but routines compound. The third stage of financial freedom is leverage, which means your money and skills start working harder than your time. And at this stage, income is no longer tied directly to hours worked, because systems, investments, or businesses begin to scale. And this is where passive and semi-passive income streams start to play a major role. Leverage can come from investments that compound, businesses that operate with systems, or assets that generate ongoing income. But leverage only works when discipline is already in place, because without discipline, leverage magnifies mistakes instead of results. The fourth and final stage of financial freedom is freedom, and this stage is often misunderstood, because freedom does not mean unlimited spending. It means choice, the ability to decide how you spend your time, where you focus your energy, and which opportunities you pursue, and without financial pressure forcing decisions. At this stage, money becomes a tool rather than a stressor, because assets and income streams support your lifestyle, and work becomes optional, flexible, or purpose-driven instead of necessary for survival. But reaching this stage requires patience, because freedom is earned through years of consistent behavior, not shortcuts. One of the most important truths about these 4 stages is that most people are not failing. They're just impatient. They want freedom-level results while still operating at a stability-level foundation. And this mismatch creates frustration, burnout, and quitting, when the real solution is simply focusing on the correct stage. Another critical point is that moving through these stages is not linear. Sometimes life pushes you back temporarily, and that does not mean failure. It means adjustment, and financially successful people accept setbacks without abandoning the process, because they understand that progress is measured over years, not weeks. Building wealth from nothing also requires controlling lifestyle inflation, because as income grows, expenses tend to grow too, and if spending rises as fast as income, wealth never accumulates. So part of every stage is learning to separate wants from needs without denying yourself enjoyment, but without sabotaging progress. Investing becomes more powerful as you move through these stages because early investing builds habits, mid-stage investing builds momentum, and late-stage investing builds independence. But at every stage, behavior matters more than returns, because poor behavior can undo years of progress quickly. Another key mindset shift is understanding that financial freedom is personal, not a specific number, because freedom for one person might mean covering basic expenses, while for another it means funding a certain lifestyle, and clarity around your version of freedom prevents endless comparison. What truly separates people who build wealth from those who stay stuck is not talent, it is consistency. Because consistent actions compound quietly in the background, while inconsistent actions cancel each other out. And the longer you stay consistent, the harder it becomes for progress to stop. Many people quit right before momentum starts, because results feel slow early on. But every stage builds invisible progress that shows up later, and once momentum begins, growth feels faster, not because the process changed, but because compounding finally becomes noticeable. The uncomfortable truth is that building wealth is boring for a long time, and that boredom is what filters people out. But for those who stay committed, boredom eventually turns into stability, stability into growth, growth into leverage, and leverage into freedom. Here's a simple way to apply this immediately. Identify which stage you're currently in. Focus only on the skills and habits required for that stage. Ignore advice meant for later stages, and commit to daily or weekly actions that move you forward, because scattered effort is the enemy of progress. Another powerful habit is tracking progress over longer periods, because short-term results are misleading, and reviewing progress quarterly or yearly provides a clearer picture, which reduces emotional reactions and encourages patience. Let me leave you with this final truth. Wealth is not built by dramatic moves. It is built by calm, repeated decisions over long periods of time. And starting from nothing is not a disadvantage. It is often an advantage because you build habits correctly from the beginning instead of unlearning bad ones later. So take action now. Comment "build." If you are committing to your current stage instead of rushing ahead, subscribe for clear and honest financial education, and share this video with someone who thinks wealth is only for the lucky. And if you want to compare two of the most popular wealth-building paths side by side, watch Index Funds versus Real Estate, which is better for building wealth. Because understanding your options clearly is the next step toward financial freedom.